What is going on, Duff Daddies and Duff Mamas? It is Tuesday, January 25th, and the boys are back. The boys are back in town. Oh, what a feeling we have right now. As always,
where did we go?
Where did we go?
Where did we go? we took quite the hiatus, unannounced.
Very unannounced hiatus. I know our buddy does another podcast, and him and his co-host were like, we're not doing shows for a bit. And then we were just like, peace, we're chilling.
It is good to be back, though. Good to be back.
It is great to be back. As always, listeners, however many of you out there, my name is Brendan Monroe. We have the one, the only Michael Adams here with us. Mike, how are we doing this evening?
Introductions back to him, just like day one. Like we never left. Good to be here, man. Excited to talk some golf. It's been quite an absence. I've been striking the little white thing around a little bit. Just put some gloves on, just like you used to shoot a basketball in the driveway, you know. But it's good to be back here. Can't wait for this warm weather. We got some golf, you know, TV starting to air. We got some big time players jumping in. It's getting nice out in other parts of the country. Bada bing, baby.
You took the words right out of my mouth there, Mike. The only thing, you might be playing yellow balls right now, staying out of the
couple
snow.
Yellow ones.
Gotta play the yellow balls. My mom plays the pink Callaways. My sister plays the green Callaways, and I play Titleist, and they always are able to find theirs, and I can never find my ball.
That's a user. That's user error.
No water balls. No water balls. Everything's frozen.
High user error. And of course, our third, but definitely not least, definitely not final co-host. Well, he's the final co-host, but he's last, but definitely not least. We have Timmy the Chooch O'Reilly. Timmy, how are we doing this evening?
I'm glad to be back. Productive half a winter, fall, winter, whatever we had. I don't even know when we stopped, but stopped right at the end of the FedEx Cup playoffs, one of those things. New job, sold my house. I'm homeless up until whenever we find a new house. Things are going well. That's definitely not the biggest story going on in this group. But I was thinking we need to what have you been up to, Brendan, since we've last, you know, Timmy, down south.
Where have you been, Tim? I know there's just so much good going on outside of golf, you know, which is awesome.
Oh yeah. Yep. So we've had some life updates. You know, mine being the least updatey. I turned 30 and I didn't know what to do with my life.
It's good to be here, Brendan.
Yep. So I am back down at a Duffin Up South headquarters right here on Hilton Head in South Carolina. We've been back here since the COVID decided, hey, we're coming back. And I was like, please don't. And they said, nope, we're coming back. So
what a place to call headquarters. What a place to call headquarters.
Southern headquarters. But yes, we do have the Southern HQ. You know, it's been great. Up until very recently, we were able to pretty much play every weekend. Now we had that huge cold. I shouldn't say cold. It was like 35 degrees down here. I know up north it was 0. So
we've seen you at Harbor Town. We've seen you at Harbor Town.
Oh, it was unbelievable. But yeah, so I think I have the least life notices besides just turning 30 and coming back down south. Tim, I know, like you just said, you had some life changes as well.
Life changes. Like I said, new job, sold the house, getting ready to buy a bigger house, you know, to have something. But I will tell you, Brendan, I have been jealous every time I see some sort of social media post, including, you know, a Snapchat or whatever. So I am living vicariously through you. Definitely you have the most envious of the winters. 35 is definitely warm compared to what it's been here. Yeah, and Mike, I am really proud that you have been out and about playing.
I've seen you on the simulators, though. I mean, you've been getting, which is nice, is more places around, you know, Boston, Providence that are popping up, like Top Golf, but it's obviously on a totally smaller scale. But it's cool, and it's Timmy's mom gives me coupons and discounts and gift cards all the time. So I'm excited to get out there soon. But yeah, man, Agawam right down the road. So you think anyone's over there right now when it's 15 degrees out? Heck no. People are walking their dogs.
Oh,
You know,
I am glad you said the simulator thing. I want to get to the simulator because I'm very excited about this one particular one. But
hell yeah.
First, Mike, how was your winter?
Dude, winter's been awesome. Honestly, a lot of, my wife, seeing her belly get bigger and bigger and grow. And
it's the one I want to hear.
Hear about that date coming real soon, and it's just moving fast, man. And we're pumped about it. And yeah, she's been great. My brother's been great. Family's been great. Playing a lot of Sequence. Whoever the makers of Sequence are, incredible game. It's like Connect Four with cards. You got to get a 5 in a row with a good hand. Jacks of 1-eyed or removals. Jacks of 2-eyed. You can, wild cards put anywhere. Fun little game. Good one-on-one game if you're looking for little one-on-one action. But no, football. How about those football games last night? I could go on a tangent. I mean, football. We're airing the day after the Bills, KC, and my wife's family, big Bills fans. So I didn't talk to them today. But yeah, everything's good, man.
Good.
Men.
And the Friars. Can't forget the Friars.
Friars, 16-2, 17.
Wow. Hey, that's just because they haven't played the Cats yet. So.
Brendan. Oh, Timmy, we got a freaking wildcat in here.
Oh, you know it. I grew up a Friars fan. You
did. Your parents have season tickets. They were going to let me go.
My parents have season tickets. I was
going to use them. The other Saturday, but the game got canceled due to COVID.
Oh, can you imagine last year? I know we're getting off on, but last year, Providence College fans talking about, maybe we should fire Ed Cooley. What?
Oh my God.
Doing great.
What?
He's doing great.
He's got a job for as long as he wants it.
Unbelievable, but we all know when Villanova comes to town, we're the Kings. Anyways, back to golf. It's
gonna be a touchy podcast that day.
Time will tell.
Oh, honestly, no, it's not their year this year. They stink. The Villanova does. Anyways, back to golf.
Hey, Christmases. Did you guys get anything golf related?
I did.
Talk to me.
So for my Christmas to myself, I bought myself a new Callaway Apex 3-iron. So very happy with that. The Apex Pro as well. So hitting a blade. Very excited about it. For some reason, I think I have the opposite of people who are normal like golfers, because I'm not a good golfer and I don't think I'm normal. I hit long irons better if they're blades and short irons better if they have cavities. Don't ask me why. I just do.
That's very strange.
Yeah.
That is complete opposite of most, but I just looked up those irons. Wow, they are pretty looking irons.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have the regular Apexes, and then I just got the 3-iron, and I also can't hit a rescue very well. Like, I think I'm one of the only people in the world who can't hit hybrids. Like, literally just can't hit them. So give me a 3-wood, going. Give me a 5-wood, perfect. Put a 3 hybrid in my hand, no shot. I literally gave Mike's little brother Chris my hybrid because I'm like, I can't hit it. You take it, bud.
I don't know if I've ever used a hybrid.
I feel you there. I feel you there on the hybrid. I'm good. I'm not great with that club.
Also, great Christmas present I got. This nice little
I want to see
Travis Matthews hat. If you look closely, very much a Hanukkah hat. Very much a Travis Matthews Hanukkah hat. It's got the dreidels. It's got.
It's a sick hat.
Oh my God, it's absolutely amazing. But look at it.
Yeah, Star of David right there. I love that.
None of us are Jewish, by the way. I just got it.
Doesn't matter.
Looks nice.
My mom was like, "This looks pretty," and I know you like Travis Matthews. I'm like, "Yep."
Can I talk about my hat? What's in my head for a sec?
Please, for the love of goodness, Michael.
Just walked into my grandpa's house a couple months ago, on my way out, I feel like I've seen this hat sitting over a chair for years, just never bothered to look at it or touch it or recognize it. It's the 1980, is it 88? I think it's 88. 1988 US Open at the Country Club of Brookline. I mean, it's just, that's happening this year, folks. I had to wear this on this podcast. Don't ask me where the hat came from.
That hat's 3 years older than all of us.
Yeah, but how great of a, I mean, it's a little, my head's a little too big. It's a little too small for my head.
That's okay.
But I had to rock it. Thank you, Grandpa, if you listen.
Mike, can I challenge? Can you wear that every day until the actual U.S. Open?
Dude, I want to wear it.
And wear it
but
at the U.S. Open.
It's like you got to wear it like this on a golf course. Like if you want freedom of movement, you gotta. So, but I mean, I just feel like my head is.
Oh yeah,
like
you would look like Bill Murray chasing the.
But I think I'm gonna wear it. You got to wear it in, Tim, right? Get it loosened up. This thing's been sitting over a chair for years.
Oh yeah, break it in, you'll be fine.
Since 1988, at least.
So, Mike, besides that wonderful piece of headwear, anything golf related for Christmas?
Oh yes. So last year, Bryn's parents got me Titleist 1 Pro Vs, but they were, they had their own little slogan on the side. So mine was Michael Adams PGA Tour Pro. Bada bang. Lost all 24 in like a month and a half. So
right.
Rolled to this year, and I did not expect it at all because they knew that I lost them in like a month and a half. I mean, I didn't hide it. I played golf a lot, especially when we went to visit out in Norwich, New York. But yeah, they got me 24 Pro V1s. One is the number 17, and it says Bill's Mafia on the side.
Wow.
Yep. And then
that's just mean.
I know, right?
Shout out to Will Loomis on that one. He knew exactly where that was gonna hit.
And you're not gonna lose them forever. You're gonna
right. I told him I was gonna
hit a hole in one with them, and you're gonna have to keep that ball forever.
Told him I was just gonna launch him into the bay. I just told him I was gonna ping him out there. There was only 12 Josh Allen balls, and that Bill's Mafia, and then there was it was 23. It might have
23. Did you already lose one?
It said if you find call MCA, like something like that, like when you, because they knew I lost them. That's what it was. I don't know if that was the exact like line, but it was like if found, call MCA.
They should have put your number. That would have been funny.
I know, but it's just a funny joke. But yeah, how funny.
Speaking of the personalized Titleist balls, I have thought about it. I kind of want to get them and then have a QR code that leads to the podcast on the ball. And so when I spray them like crazy, someone's like,
think of that?
I mean, yes, I thought of it. I heard other people talk about it on a football, and I was like, but it'd be much better on a golf ball. You know what I mean? Or like a basketball, and you can like engrave it now. And I was like, we should do that. With our QR code, because whenever you see a QR code, no matter what it is, I always take my phone out. I'm like, what is that?
Can you do it on the dimples like of the ball? Like, will it read? I
honestly, I have no idea. Clue. It'd be unbelievable if they could.
It's a good idea though. Yeah.
If modern technology is there, we're just gonna have Duffin up. I'm gonna get like Nike, like old Nike Mojos too. So not Titleist.
I was gonna say, do not do Pinnacle 2s or something.
Oh, Pinnacle Golds. We can't make fun of Kirkland because the Kirkland people will come at us. So we're not gonna make fun of Kirkies. It would be Top Flights, Pinnacle Golds, Volvics. We could get the Volvics involved if you guys remember those. Those were so silly back in the day.
I've been hitting a bunch in my backyard. I got some Max Flies. I got some like Dunlops. Timmy, you love the Slazengers.
Oh, bang. Those things are rock hard.
They still make them. You can only buy them in England, though. You can only buy them in the UK. I found that out.
Really? It's mostly a tennis company.
I saw some random guys on TikTok, and they played with Slazengers, and I'm like, those aren't real. They're like, they most certainly are.
Oh yeah, that was the big thing. There was like the Slazenger Raw, like there was supposed to be like a distance thing, but they were just, I mean, you might as well.
It was a top flight. It was literally just rock hard top flight.
Nothing's a top flight.
Everything's a top flight.
That's true too.
Doesn't matter if it's a top flight or a Pro V1, it's going in the water.
That's true.
Oh man, Timmy, what was on your, what did Santa bring you for Christmas for golf related items? Anything good?
Yes. Wanted to say this. I'm definitely gonna make some sort of TikTok from this. But my uncle Pat, he makes like these unbelievable guitars, like acoustic guitars. Hand makes them, and they're phenomenal. I don't know how he does it. I mean, the guy is a fungi scientist. Like he studies fungi, but for some reason, just as a hobby, he makes guitars, and they're phenomenal. So he said, "Hey, Tim, send me the specifications of a putter." And I said, "Okay." So I sent him specifications of a Newport, Scotty Cameron Newport putter. Very nice. He said, "Okay." And it had like the weight, the dimensions, whatever, yada, yada, yada. So what I did was I brought this for you guys to see. He sent this back, brought for Christmas.
Wow.
That's his name's Pat Morrissey. That's his logo right there.
Oh, okay.
Super heavy. He made it with tungsten carbide steel on the inside. It's 3 times heavier than lead, so it's super heavy, like just like a Scotty Cameron. And so all I got to do is shaft it up and grip it up.
That's your putter.
Yeah, you're using that. You can't.
Let's go.
That's unbelievable.
Dope.
How cool is that?
That thing is sick.
Can he build me a mallet? Mallet versus blade putters. That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day.
And there's two of a kind.
So cool.
Me, it's like the Elder Wand or whatever. There's only 2 of them. Or have you ever seen National Treasure with was the Resolute desk? I don't know. Made out of the whatever. So there's only 2 of them. This one, and he made another one, and he gave it to my cousin Matt Sheridan.
Oh,
so there's
awesome.
2 of a kind. But yeah, that's
you got to get a head cover for that.
Oh yeah, Billy Baru. Billy.
That thing's sweet.
Billy. Oh,
because I'm used to seeing you with the you got the back. The what?
I had a Nike, or I have a Nike.
Was it Nike? Yeah, you had but it's not. It wasn't a blade. It was
no. I've always had a blade.
Oh yeah. That's Bry guy.
Yeah, Brian has that.
Yeah.
Way back when I used to have.
Way back when, yeah. Okay.
But yeah,
that thing's a lot.
So I got shafted and whatever.
Unreal.
Yeah, that was. I mean,
got to start rolling them. Got to start rolling them with that thing.
Oh my God, yeah. We got. Oh, so the simulator. I don't know. We're done with Christmas. I'm guessing. Let's be done. The simulator I went to, guys, boys. You know how like on the World Golf Tour or like the new golf games, you can play courses around.
Yep.
Whatever. You can play courses, Rhode Island courses, Massachusetts courses, and you're playing on whatever. This golf simulator, you can play any course. I mean, we played Crystal Lake Golf Course in Burrillville, Rhode Island. It was identical. What? It's just like that game. They take the game, that everyone makes golf courses, and they put it on the simulator, and they have a program that can make it so it tracks the ball and all that stuff. And it is phenomenal. We can play Meadowbrook. We can play Chamawa. We can play. Wow. It is so cool. And,
that's amazing. So I'm extremely jealous.
Did you play Augusta?
No. We didn't play Augusta. We played.
Can you though?
I don't know. That's a good question.
That'd be unreal.
That's a great question. It's in East Greenwich, Rhode Island.
What's it called?
For 2 hours. So that was $25 a person.
That's not bad at all.
No,
what's the place called?
Shanks. It's kind of cool.
Dude,
it's called Shanks.
Yeah. Let's get there before April.
All right.
Before April.
Before the
I'll be back up.
Before the baby. Which one?
We got to get a trip too. We were talking about that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I got my trip coming up in March for a bachelor party. I am pumped about it. I'm so excited. Scottsdale. So we're going to west. Yeah. So.
But you're not golfing a ton, right? Like you might golf, maybe.
We will golf. Yes.
But it's not a golf golf bachelor party. I think you were saying that on an earlier podcast, maybe. Or did
This
you
one is going to be more golf focused. But yeah, that's good.
Was that the New Orleans? No, that was
New Orleans was a wedding. Key West was not golf centric. Also, there's no golf courses in Key West, so obviously it's not going to be
right. There's no
no golf courses in Key West. No,
can't go there.
Straight island and boating, baby. That's there's barely a beach. Literally just boating and drinking. So yeah, so interesting stuff to say the least. But yeah, so we're doing good. Luckily I have not had to use a simulator yet, but I do know that when it happens, I don't know how I feel about the simulators though, because like if I want to play like St. Andrews, for example, like you can customize it though, right? Like you can make it like active conditions and everything like that, right?
Oh, like wind and stuff like that?
Yeah,
sure. And I get it. Obviously the simulators, they're not.
The only thing I don't want to do on a simulator is putt, because I feel like that's not real.
How did they do putting, Tim?
Putting stunk. Putting was we just omitted the putting. We just said if you're on the green, it's an automatic 2-putt. Yeah. But the one in Lincoln, it's a very realistic putting. I don't know if you played the Lincoln.
You just hit it into the screen, like kind of at the hole.
Yeah, it's a little. They have like a cool mat on the ground, which is it's hard to.
It doesn't ever drop into a hole though.
No. Which
I haven't seen that yet. I mean, I haven't been to many simulators either.
This one was the courses. I would go to the one in East Greenwich for the courses, the cool, and it's more just laid back. Like if you hit on the green, you 2-putt and you move on, which is cool.
Yeah, you don't need to putt.
Nah, you don't. You don't. And
do they serve food and drink? Like,
so that was the weird. It's brand new. So next door they have like a regular food place. You order food and beverage, and a guy brings it around. So it's kind of like a loophole, so they don't have to get any sort of licenses or anything.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, you just kind of call them and they say, "Hey, this is what we want," and they bring it around.
That's
pretty cool.
I like it.
In a little private room with a curved screen. It was cool.
Yeah.
But Brendan, you're right. Like simulators, I know I'm not a huge fan of simulators, but when it's 0 degrees here, I don't want to play outside. That's the only thing.
100% agree with you there. Oh,
30 degrees, I'm all outside. Absolutely.
Timmy, you would be out with me on. It's great. You just couple holes. You just out there. You put gloves on. You can't go on the greens either because you want to be respectful, right? Because if it's below freezing, I think, or if there's frost on it, you kill the green if you walk on it. I was saying to Brent, don't walk on the green. Don't walk on the green. You'll kill the. And then there was like a girl or a woman and her dog, and they walked right across the green. And I was like, Brent, we got to tell them not to walk on the green. But
what a great setup over there, Mike. That is cool.
Agawam. They don't know me. They don't need to know me.
No. You're playing more than any member, though.
Yep.
It's a great setup. Brendan, how close is the nearest golf course to your house right there?
1.5 miles. So we have the two. Yeah, so we got the 2 golf courses, Heron Point and Atlantic Dunes, which are part of the Plantation Club. So shout out them. They're great courses. Love them. Actually, Sea Pines Country Club, which we don't belong. It's private. We don't belong there. That's actually like literally right down the road. So that's like I could walk 1/4 mile and be on one of the holes. So that's really close. And then Harbor Town's about 1.5 miles, 2 miles the other way from Plantation Club. So there's 4 courses.
Head Island?
No, there's like probably 20 or 20 courses on Hilton Head. So yeah, there's a lot more. I know when Brian came down, he played a couple really good ones. So
okay.
Yeah, those were really good ones. Those are Robert Trent Jones. Those are really, really good ones.
Probably hard to sneak on golf courses down south.
Not easy.
Never.
Virtually impossible. Nope. Can't. No, they got Rangers going like crazy.
There's always someone got to be playing too. I mean,
yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, you can sneak on it like, when the sun's about to go down, if you're on like a random hole. So like if you're on like the 13th hole, like yeah, you can sneak out then and like go and play.
Yeah,
but like
I definitely, if I was you, I'd find a loop. I'd find something at 6:30 at night to go over and play. 1/4 mile?
Right? What's up?
Quarter mile? Just bring one club, hit it around.
Good. Just do some chipping. I want to be
Bring
too bad.
Bring a couple balls though, because you'll probably. I learned that the hard way. First couple times, bring one ball, then you find yourself looking for them. But it is nice when everything's dead on a golf course too. When you're trying to rack in the golf balls, it's easy finds. Easy finds.
Definitely, 100% agree with you there.
My stash is filling up.
Oh man,
we're off on a rant.
We went on a rant.
Brendan, you've been ready to get to this. You've been ready to get to this. Oh, have you? Is it out? I don't even know. I don't even know anything about it. Oh, I know. I did know something about it, but is it out? Right. You go, Brendan.
The first thing on our show notes. That's okay. Hey, we've been having a great time without the show notes, so this is good. I'm just a planner. That's my thing. So the PGA Tour and the streaming company. I don't know if you guys have heard of these guys. Netflix. I don't know if they're that popular. Are they? We're just kidding. Everyone knows. They make almost $1 trillion a year. Anyways, they have decided to partner up and create this F1. I don't know if you guys ever watched the F1 Drive to Survive show.
Oh, yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's like Hard Knocks every weekend for F1, which is 10 times more just, I don't know the word for it, than football. It's
just auto racing, so it's not
more passionate. It's more, it's more life or death, more passionate, more. These guys can really say whatever they want, and no one loses a job.
I mean, that show got Americans into, like, you had never heard of people in America talking about F1 until 2018. Literally until Lewis Hamilton. I mean, like, people knew who Michael Schumacher was because, like, he was very famous, but, like, no one ever talked about F1. And now so many people are into it. And I am so excited if PGA Tour Drive to Survive, which I am going to call PGA Tour Drive, Chip, and Putt to Survive. I actually think it'd be better just to call it Putt to Survive. But anyways, if this show does anything like F1 did, PGA Tour revenues are going to go like crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if it can get to that much thrill, though. I mean,
I don't think so either, because you don't
just like the hatred in Formula One, like between the teams, like is like, and the expressing of that dislike, like, is so sweet, and reporters like asking. I think we've talked about it on this show, or I don't know, but like the reporting and the media in Formula One is gruesome. Like, they'll come at your throat, like, and they like swearing, like putting people, like, it's just wild to hear. It's just golf media America. It's a little more soft.
I would agree there. It's like, what's it called? Lewis Hamilton, you finished in second place. Why didn't you finish in first, you big dumb bitch? All right. Like, literally.
But that's the thing too. Like if there's a great comeback in golf, like, sweet, it's great to make a great show out of. Like, hopefully that's the case for this series. But like, you got guys going like the fastest in the world, like in these cars that are not billions, millions and millions of dollars.
They're definitely worth millions of dollars for sure.
Oh yeah, no, these cars are crazy expensive. Yeah. But just the thrill and the like camera work into those races, like, that's what make. But I mean, I don't mean to downplay this, because I am excited about the golf. But I did watch the Formula One, and like you said, Brendan, America, like American, like I grew up playing Grand Theft Auto. Like, that game was sick, and I never heard of Formula One. Like Lewis Hamilton. Now I know Max Verstappen. That little, like, love it, like, rift, like, following Formula One since, but not closely, not as closely as a lot of people have since that show. Like, it's crazy to see how that show has taken Formula One to the States.
Right, but like that swearing, that raunchiness of the sport is definitely something that I would be very surprised if we uncover anything like that in golf. And I very much doubt it, because golf is kind of supposed to be a gentleman's game, but boy, do I hope we do. I hope there's some little tidbits and little secret nooks and crannies that we uncover, and and nothing like that. I don't know, nothing that's like terrible, like nothing that defaces anyone or, causes someone to lose a brand or a sponsor, but just something like someone hates someone or, just a little drama, because the golf is, they present it as a gentleman's game. They present it as a very proper game, but it's the times are changing, and, you see hoodies on the course, and, I like it when JT, swears when he hits a bad shot, because we do that too. And I hate that he gets, I hate that he gets, what, I don't know, bad, loses a sponsor because of something like that, and maybe we'll get an insight as to why, maybe we'll get an insight as to, what the sponsors are expecting of them and things like that. So I'll be very surprised, but I hope we do. That's what I'm getting at.
I do too. I think it'd be great. I'm really looking forward to it. I don't know if you guys were able to see like some of the guys who are going to be on it. You got some really, really big names, JT Morikawa, Xander Schauffele. Some of the guys who are like very popular on social media are very popular, like kind of cult guys. So like Harry Higgs, Big Rig's going to be on it. I'm excited for that. Max Homa is going to be on it. Joel Damon, Brooks Koepka. And then some of the cool young guys, Victor Hovland will be on it. Which is pretty sweet. Huh?
Kevin Kisner on it?
He was not confirmed on it. I was about to say there's some noticeable missing guys. And I think the biggest two are Bryson is not confirmed to be on it, and Phil is not on it. Those are two guys that I thought you'd want them to be on there.
Well, I'm curious, are sponsors allowing them to do that, or is this a completely separate entity? Like, is Bryson's sponsor saying, don't do this, you're going to look like a moron or something like that?
I don't think so. I think it's more of like the PGA Tour like pushing it. So I'm wondering if maybe that's, a little bit weird. But I definitely had some people who I did not see on the list who I would have liked to see on the list. And I think Phil Mickelson is obviously number one there. Harold Varner III. I don't know why I like Harold Varner III so much, but I love me some HV3. I think he's awesome. I think that would bring kind of a cool other side of golf too. Like, with it being a little bit more of an underserved community where he's from, like, him kind of going through a lot of stuff, when he first started out, like be a really cool thing to see him, especially as he's kind of more succeeding more and more on tour.
You're right, Brennan. I definitely want to know more about him for sure.
Is it locked? Like, is the list locked?
It's not locked. No. Kisner, I would have loved. And then any guy who does a Monday qualifier and gets into the event, like I just want them every week to like do 5 minutes on the Monday qualifiers.
I'm interested in how they structure this, because it could be sweet for sure.
I'm going to be honest, though. There's a lot of people we know about already, like Kevin Kisner, because of different podcasts and things like that. Kevin Kisner, another one, Joel Damon, we know a little bit about, because I've heard them talk. I've heard them, Bubba, he talks a lot. You get a lot of history about Bubba. Obviously, we're not going to get tired, but he doesn't talk a lot. I like the people that we don't know about, like Brennan said, like Alan Varner, Harry Varner III. I mean, Bryson. I mean, yeah, he talks a lot. I don't care that we're not seeing him, but he's always entertaining and he's always good for an awkward moment. But Phil, yeah, I would love to see more of Phil. But I'm okay with not seeing Kisner, to be honest, because we know exactly what we're getting with him. I mean, he's out in the open with everything. There's no secrets. There's no uncovering anything, unless he has something dire under wraps. But I doubt it. I don't know. That's just my take on it.
Timmy's trying to find that good stuff. Kisner's I know what you're saying. I'm just thinking from like a show's perspective, like if you're just trying to make it a cool vibe, like guys enjoying being around one another. I feel like he would be easy to throw in there and make the show maybe they spin it that way. Like it doesn't, like, it seems like a lot of those JTs, like those young guys have a group of like guys who play golf on the side together, like outside of the PGA Tour. So kind of seeing the inside of those conversations that they're having, like inside the ropes or during practice, or just, that's the stuff that kind of excites me, like just the conversations, hopefully there's some, like, a little bit of outsider, someone's on the outside looking in, like, this guy's a friggin' dink. But Bryson would be easy to insert there, but I don't know.
I think that would be Patrick Reed as well. And so I was not surprised when I didn't see his name.
What about Ricky? Was Ricky? You say Ricky Fowler?
Ricky was on. Yep, Ricky was on there. I did see Ricky's name, so he was on there. Brooks Koepka's on there, which is great. So there's a good amount of guys on there. Like, I'm very, very intrigued, very interested. I think it'll be awesome, and it'll definitely help grow the game too. So that's a big one for me as well. Really hopeful that it continues to grow the game too. Oh man. So I know we have a couple things on here, but I did want to talk about, we just talked about a great thing about golf, right? We just talked about how, there's more and more stuff coming out. There's more and more, with this new Netflix show, it'll be great for exposure.
Simulators,
always great to play. There's a little bit of a dark side sometimes to this game as well. And we saw that. I don't know if you guys read about it when it happened, but everything going on with the Big Money Classic right now is absolutely brutal. Basically, for those of you, I'm sure everyone who's listening is a big golf fan and has heard of this, but what happened, and shout out to Monday Q Info, shout out to Ryan French, does Monday Q Info, he writes for the Fire Pit Collective, is every year for the past 2 years, sorry, not every year, but there's this new event called the Big Money Classic where, people pay a $2,800 entry fee and it's up to $400,000 in total prize money. That is a very big payday for guys who are not on, like, either the PGA Tour or Korn Ferry. Like, this is a huge event for these guys who are trying to make it somewhere, and like that money can go a long way, seeing as how a normal player for, if you're trying to Monday qualify, it's a $300 fee. So $2,800 is a huge amount. And, being able to win up to $150,000, which was what the first prize was, $100,000 for the first place winner. Like, that's enormous. Like, that could keep you going for the year, basically. And what has happened is none of the players who finished in the top 12 have been paid. The owner, Dustin Manning, owes over $300,000 to players, another $50,000 to the course where they had the event, and then $10,000 to, I think, the South Florida PGA for letting them, for having it as like a South Florida PGA event. Like, sponsors didn't pay them. They have a thing with Square right now that he's owed $250,000, but like, that's not even close to the amount of money he has to pay. And they canceled the women's event and did not pay back $100,000 in fees so far.
Yikes.
Wow.
Big old scam. Big old scam. Yeah, I did a video on this for TikTok, and I was able to tag a guy who I follow, Morgan, who's like a kind of coming up and comer, just graduated college last year, golfer. And he was like, yeah, like I paid the $2,800 entry fee. I ended up not winning any money, but like, this is kind of a, it's basically a shit show.
Yikes. This is brutal.
Holy hell.
I own a couple of Squares stocks. No wonder they've been tanking. But
oh my god.
No.
So Square confirmed that they're holding it because there's like a dispute apparently. So they're holding like a bunch of money. But again, that's like he still has to pay back over like $150,000. Like it's
No.
nuts. And not only that, but like I read in the Fire Pit Collective story, which if you guys haven't read, or if our listeners haven't read, I'm sure you have. It's over a month old now. Like it's an unbelievable story written. But there was a guy who I forget his name. I should have had it up. But basically he won 20, like he finished in, I think, the top 10 or something like that. So he won $20,000. He's a club pro, but he's trying to like get on tours. So he plays local mini tour events. The $20,000 for a guy like that is huge. He got sponsored by one of the club pro one of the members at his local club. And so the guy put up his entrance fee. He comes back. He's like, we won $20,000. The dude hasn't been paid in like 3 months. And the guy is like, and so the member who put up that money is like, dude, where's my money? Like, are you stealing from me? Like, imagine how crazy that must be too, where it's like a guy, where like, and that happens a lot. Like you kind of get like these benefactors that'll put up money for you if you pay them back and stuff. And it's like, holy moly.
So if those benefactors, like kind of not really important, but if those benefactors say someone doesn't win, are they going back saying like, where's my money? Like one of those things, or is it kind of like
no, I think they get the risk, but imagine like you put $2,800 up for a kid. He goes out, he's like, oh, I won 20 grand. And the guy's like, okay, can I get my money back? Plus like a little bit, you know what I mean? Plus like maybe an extra grand or something like that for helping you out.
Yeah.
Or probably not even. He probably just wanted the $2,800 back. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
So
just explain him the story. He's got to be sympathetic. I mean, this is a terrible story. This guy Manning should be.
Oh, he's definitely going to be spending some time behind bars with this. And the crazy part is like I feel like we see it, and they write about it too. Like there's kind of once every 5 years, once every 10 years, they start up like a local mini tour and someone puts a bunch of money into it and it always just goes bottom. You know what I mean? It just always goes bottom up. Trump did it one year, for Christ's sakes, back in the early 2000s. Like all of these tours try and, and it's a great idea. Like you're trying to build up a mini tour so people who aren't on the PGA Tour can like actually survive playing golf. But instead, you actually end up hurting the people that need that money the most.
Very true. Oh shoot, that's an unfortunate story.
A little upsetting.
Yeah, I agree.
Hopefully we'll report better news. People should get their money.
Where's my money?
I mean, my grandpa put a $50 bet in on the Pats to win a couple weeks ago. They lost. I mean, it was $50. I was pissed. Where is it, Grandpa? Like, give me my money. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, Michael. Michael.
I was just belaboring Chris. Chris, give me my money.
Oh.
Brendan, it's European Tour news too, man. I've been so out of the loop.
I know, right? So that one's even crazier. And I mean, not even crazier, sorry, but the European Tour got a brand new look, which I have always liked. I like waking up early and watching the European Tour as I'm like doing work and stuff like that. Like it's a very nice watch in the mornings. But boy, like they just like, I mean, just from everything before what happened, like the guys didn't make a lot of money on the European Tour. All of the stuff from COVID, like, purses went way down. There was no one it was just like a very weird environment on the European Tour. But they just, they got a big investment from DP, which is Dubai back logistics firm. Not a dirty thing to say, people. This is their actual name. I swear. DP World. Like, I swear that's their actual name. I'm not making it up. But yeah, I mean, they ended up putting in a huge investment into the European Tour. $200 million this year in total purse money, which is up from $130 million. They're not close to the PGA Tour, by the way, who gives up 427. So, and that's not including the FedEx Cup and everything like that. That's just straight cash from the event. 47 tournaments. That's a very long schedule. That is the definition of a grind right there. And also a significant investment into the Challenge Tour, which is their version of the Korn Ferry Tour. So just like last year when the PGA did kind of their restructuring of the Korn Ferry Tour, put a lot more money into it, kind of realized like we can't be paying a dude that just won an event like, $20,000. Like, what are we doing? Which they paid a lot more for that. But like there were some guys finishing in the top 5 of a Korn Ferry Tour event and they were making 10 grand. Like, okay.
What are the entrance fees for a Korn Ferry tournament?
So if you have full status, you don't pay fees at all.
Right. But if you're like
Monday qualifier, $150. Yeah, $150. So just like what the PGA did, they're doing a significant investment into the Challenge Tour as well, which will be great for them. Guys like Brooks Koepka, got to remember, Brooks Koepka didn't have status on either the PGA Tour or the Korn Ferry Tour when he came out of college. He went and played on the Challenge Tour in Europe for 2 years before he ended up getting European Tour status and then came back and got PGA Tour status.
He grinded. I'll give it to him.
Absolute grinder. And then he ended up in the late 20 teens, turning into an absolute monster that he is now.
Hey, Brendan.
But anyways,
Brendan, speak of your the European Tour kind of up in its little thing, but clarify this for me. Didn't the PGA Tour and the European Tour merge for the first for 2 tournaments, but right before the British Open or the Open?
So yes. So this is kind of what I was going to mention afterwards, but it's a great point, Tim. They have what's called now a strategic partnership between the two. So they used to be completely different tours. Now they've entered into a strategic partnership where there are a couple events on the PGA Tour that are going to count towards European Tour status. I think it's like the Barracuda and the Barbasol. Like the alternate events are now going to also count for World Tour points and stuff like that. And then the 2 events prior to the British, so the 2 events prior to the Open. So the Scottish Open is now also a full-fledged PGA Tour event, which it used to not be. And the Irish Open has a significant investment from the PGA Tour as well. So instead of those guys not really making that much money, they're going to be making a boatload now if they win some of those events. And this is all because basically my reasoning behind it, and I think most people see it, is they just don't want that Saudi Golf League, the Premier Golf League that people are talking about. They don't want that happening. So they're like, all right, we got to put a lot more money into this.
It's fantastic. I like it.
It is.
Let's keep the European Tour and keep the PGA Tour. I'm definitely a pro PGA Tour guy, but definitely would still watch that new Saudi league if it did come on, just because it's all the hubbub. Anyway,
I know that's the worst part is that I would watch it too, but I have like a moral. It's kind of like sometimes when you're like watching like a team that you don't like, it's like I have a moral obligation to watch this and to hate it and to hate every second. Like when Peyton when Peyton Manning used to get in the Super Bowl, like growing up as a Tom Brady guy, like I would watch it and I'd be like, I have every moral obligation to root against you, but I'm still gonna watch you. Like that's what I would do with the Saudi Premier Golf League. Be like, I know this is gonna be entertaining, but I'm rooting against it.
It's like the Yankees in the World Series or something.
Oh yeah, exactly, same exact thing.
Mike, what do you think? Are a lot of these tournaments like newly created?
No, so a lot of them will still be like the European Tour calendar that is pretty set, but then there are more. So there's more events. And the biggest thing is that all the purses have increased like pretty much over $1 million in each event.
So it's still going to be on in the morning. Still got your coffee.
Oh yeah.
Coffee and bagel and morning golf. Perfect.
I will say, I just need the Golf Channel to be honest with us and be like, hey, we're going to put this on like every morning. Just show it in the morning. That's all you got to do. There's no reason to not show it up until noon. Like, just show me some good golf. That's all I care about.
Right. And just, Golf Channel, call it European Tour. You don't have to put DP World Tour.
Well, that's the sponsor, though.
As long as there's
like,
a big Rolex, I'm sure they're big sponsors over there.
They are. Well, there's the Rolex series, which was like
Right.
Yeah. So there used to be the Rolex series, or there still is the Rolex series, technically. Then there's the Race to Dubai, which is where so DP Logistics used to sponsor that. And now they're just like, screw it, we're sponsoring the entire tour. Get your head out of the gutter, Timmy. God. Golly, Tim, get your head out of your gutter. Oh, unbelievable. But yes, I think it's really good for golf that there's this strategic alliance now with the two tours, instead of trying to fight each other for these guys. It's just okay, this past week it was the Dubai Challenge, the HSBC Dubai, I think it was called, and basically most of the big guys were over in Dubai playing that. You had Dustin Johnson, you had Morikawa, you had Hop, all of the big names were over on the European Tour playing that big event. And then they'll come back for the big PGA Tour event, like this week coming up with the Farmers. They'll all be here, stuff like that. I think it's really good for golf that they're kind of showing that too.
Okay.
Kumbaya.
Oh, Michael. Oh, Mikey.
Kumbaya.
We still need our first official Mikey's Tidbits sooner or later. It may not happen on this podcast, but we will get a Mikey's Tidbits. We will get it.
And I was looking. I scrolled down to the bottom and I saw the new clubs out.
Mm-hmm.
I had not seen the Cobra. It looks pretty sweet.
The Cobra, yes. So
not a big Cobra guy, but it looks good.
I've actually never really hit Cobra stuff before, and even when you go to PGA Tour Superstore and stuff like that, they don't really give you Cobra stuff to hit. They usually give you, every time I've gone there to hit stuff, I always get Titleist, I get Callaway, I get Mizuno irons. They always give me Mizuno irons to hit. Yep. They always give me Mizuno irons to hit. Titleist, and then usually either Strixon or Ping. They'll usually throw those in there too. Yeah. Which Ping is kind of like creme de la creme. I don't even think they sell a lot of stuff at PGA Tour, if we're being honest. But yeah, I mean, and then you can't get PXG anywhere, obviously, because they only sell through PXG. But anyways, yeah, I mean, I'm very excited. I love when the new drivers come out at the beginning of the year, mostly because the rest of the drivers immediately go on 40% off sale.
Oh, I can't wait to get a Sim 2.
Give me that Sim 2. Give me that Sim 2. I can finally afford it. But yeah, I mean, TaylorMade comes out with the Stealth, the new carbon-based, which they're this is the first carbon-based driver ever. And then Callaway put up the carbon head driver that they made in 2003, and they're wrong. Callaway came out with the Rogue driver set, and then also the Rogue irons, and Cobra came out with the LTDX. So Cobra looks very, very nice, I will say.
Yeah, that red face is pretty cool.
Yeah. And did you see on the Stealth, you can now so it comes regularly as red, but you can customize it through TaylorMade and do other colors.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
When did they release this stuff?
The Stealth? That was January.
When did they release these drivers? When's their release date? Is it before Christmas or after?
Oh no, they're always after Christmas. They're always after Christmas. So
after the New Year.
It's brilliant.
It's terrible.
It's brilliant. People getting news for Christmas, and then they release the Stealth. It's brilliant.
For people's wallet, it's brutal.
Oh God, yeah. But business-wise, holy hell, what a move! TaylorMade knows what they're doing. They know people are going to buy it. Mike, have you seen this Stealth?
It's very pretty. It's very sexy.
Looks like Spider-Man or something like that.
It kind of does, especially the front. It's weird, but it looks really good. Like, I'm not kidding. I think it looks.
How much is it? Million?
Oh, too much.
It's got to be $500. It's got to be $500.
Yeah, it's $550.
$575. $579.
Yeah, and then the customizable ones I think are $699 or something like that. It's nuts.
No way.
It's got a.
We're gonna have to wait 3 years.
It's got a tumor.
Yeah. The one thing I also did with my, I don't know if you guys have done it, like for minus my little Apex purchase, I did something that some of the podcast might like, some of the listeners might like. It may also start an absolute war.
Ooh.
I traded in my Vokey wedge.
You traded them in?
I had one Vokey and I had one Cleveland.
Yeah.
And I traded the Vokey in for a Cleveland.
Really? Interesting move.
I love.
For new or?
A brand new Cleveland wedge, yeah. Versus the wedge that was like a year and a half old.
But you went Cleveland over Vokey.
I went Cleveland over Vokey, and I know that. Yep, I know that will start. That could get a lot of people upset. I'm sorry, but I'll tell you
honestly,
what.
Brendan, wedges like how advanced can the technology on wedges be?
I think it's just feel, and I just think I just think like I personally like the feel of the zip cores from Cleveland better. Like I just every time I hit him, I think I hit him great, and every time I hit the Vokey, I was like, really? Like that's it? Like I was just maybe I hit him wrong. Maybe I'm just bad at I am bad at golf, but maybe I'm just not good at some of the stuff. Like, oh my goodness gracious,
this driver does look sexy. If I see Tiger swing this thing, oh my god,
he is a tailor-made guy.
As we're speaking, I'm currently customizing a stealth right now.
It's black and red. I mean, it's pretty much all the images that
have fun with that nice little bill when you're done there, Timbo.
Yeah, I'm not gonna buy it, obviously.
Any finance options?
There are finance options. There are. You can finance it. I actually was thinking about that. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, we'll get the M6 out of here.
Too bad you're not a righty.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, this is awesome.
I know. That's so cool, though.
Stop it, Timmy. Stop.
I'm not gonna buy it. I'm not gonna buy it.
You're saying you're not gonna buy it. You're gonna buy it.
You gotta let that putter breathe.
I would rather get the Sim 2. But Brendan, why I do respect your move, and I don't think the hubbub around wedges is like. I was actually looking at like. You ever heard of the company Lazarus? It's one of those company that offers you like a full set of wedges for like $130.
Yeah,
like,
so they're similar to like Kirkland wedges, which I've heard are actually really, really good.
Right. Like how much more advanced? I mean, a driver I get, sure. Irons, sure. But a wedge, I mean, they're all forged pieces of metal, right? There's no.
Yeah, they're just
inside.
blades.
Right. And so I mean, maybe the grooves, maybe there's no laser cutting of the grooves. But I don't know that. But Cleveland is ever since I got into Vokeys, but Cleveland was always the best wedges. So I mean, I respect the hell out of the move.
Don't let the Titleist people hear you say Cleveland was always the best. Oh, but I love me some Cleveland wedges, and I don't know why, but I absolutely love them. Had a pair of Cleveland irons too. They weren't that great, but the Cleveland wedges are always good.
And wedges always top of the line, right in competition with the Vokeys.
Oh, yeah.
Titleist always has the name. I mean, it's like Titleist is, I don't know. Titleist probably won.
Timmy, let me ask you this.
Yes.
Brendan, you're excluded since you live in warm climate. Are your clubs in your car right now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Always prepared.
Oh yeah. But does the cold just after cold night after cold night sitting in your trunk, does that do anything to the metal?
I'm sure if we went to like right outside and started hitting a 3-iron with bare hands, it would sting.
Oh yeah, your hands would be on fire.
Stinging.
I don't know. That's a good question.
But I always keep my clubs in my car. I was just curious if you treated them better.
No, I don't. I should. But I don't know. That's a good question, Mike. Hey, anyone listening, can you please tell us?
If it deteriorates, if it deteriorates the club, then let us know.
What does it do to the lifespan of an average iron?
I was actually talking to a guy today, and he was saying he kept it in a hot car, and the hot car got his epoxy, like messed with his epoxy with the irons. Yeah.
Oh,
the grips? The grip?
No, with the actual irons. And so it would snap.
Like you're talking about what goes in here?
Yes. So the epoxy got all distorted, and he would swing it, and it would just come right out.
Oh, brutal. I'm screwed. I keep my cars in the summer. My clubs are in my car 24/7. At the beach, they must be roasting in the parking lot.
Oh my God.
So
brutal.
I'm sure room temp is probably the best way to go.
Between 60 and 70 degrees.
Just like Ireland, dude. Just live in Ireland 24/7, and then that's the perfect. Never goes below 40, never goes above 60. Just constant. You'll be fine. Oh man. What do we think, boys? Mike, did you do a daily fantasy this week?
I literally just grabbed my phone and pulled up DraftKings. I'm ready to go.
Hey,
while Mike's making a pick, do you want me to say
I don't
something?
even know if I know my login. Oh, geez, this could be bad.
Oh,
Timmy, you go.
So my brother and I are thinking, we've said this to you guys before, but we want to start an annual golf trip. It's one of those things we're going to throw it out to anyone who wants to go. You can either go or not go. I think, and so going to different places each year.
Neither go or not go.
meaning like,
no, I love it.
It's not going to be like contingent on whether you go this year.
Trip's going. Yeah. Trip's moving.
Trip's going no matter what.
You're welcome to come. You know what I mean? And if you go, there's gonna be formats, but we want to get it going right now because of things. Case in point, in Mike's situation, before kids come or life happens and things like that. So you always have that excuse to say, "Hey, we do this trip every year. I gotta go.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go. We do it every year, just to start it now." But anyway, all right. So golfer fantasy poll. What are we doing? Daily fantasy.
Mm-hmm. Timmy, any ideas on where this trip's going to be and when? I mean, can't get my testicles going like that and just drop to friggin' daily fantasy.
That's a great question. Just gotta establish.
Holy moly! What a line! What an absolute line from Michael.
Would you guys? I guess this would be like a. You know what? I'll save it for the golfer poll because it's kind of an interesting question. All right, go to the.
Why is this a Wednesday start? F1 question mark.
Oh, they don't want to go against the AFC and NFC championships.
The punctuation.
Yeah. So they don't want to go up against football. They do Wednesday to Saturday for this event. It's actually smart, if we're being completely honest.
Right, very smart. Well, that's awesome.
Do you want me to go
that punctuation?
Yes, I was about to say FYI after. I don't know why that would have came out, but it should have been a question mark. Do you know
ready?
Do you know why it's a Wednesday start? FYI.
Here's the golfer poller.
FYI.
Golfer. All right, Brendan. Yeah, you go. I'll shut up.
All right, boys. So,
Brendan.
I love.
Here is Brendan's list. :
FYI.
FYI.
For your information, this is Brendan's list that he's going to say right now. Okay. Anyways, first off the bat, we have at $10,100, San Diego local boy Xander Schauffele.
Big Xander Schauffele guy you are. Every time.
You know it. Me and Alexander go way back. You know that. When he didn't make the cut at the PGA Championship last year, I almost cried. I was like, "You were the chosen one." He had finished in 4 or I think it was 6 straight top 5s in majors or something crazy like that. He hadn't been outside the top 10 in a major since 2018. And I was like, is this a joke? It's unbelievable. Yep. But anyways, I continue. Xander Schauffele, $10,100, playing at his local, or not local. Well, playing in La Jolla. Grew up, played there a couple times as growing up. Finished T7 last year at the U.S. Open. Played very well at the Farmers last year there, so I got him. Next up, $9,100, Mr. Tony Finau. Very, very big man, very large man. Hits the ball a country mile. Does pretty well at the Farmers usually. Played pretty well at the U.S. Open last year. Got to go with him. Third on the list, last year's 2021 Farmers Insurance Open champion at a very low $8,700. And this will spark debate, Mr. Patrick Reed. No debate. Wow. I was a little surprised by that. I thought someone was going to say, why would you pick him?
I chose him too.
Oh, yeah.
Me three.
Golfer number.
He won last year. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh.
How can you not?
Golfer number 4 had an absolute not revolution. Sorry. What is it, the word when you kind of come revelation? No, not revelation. Well, he had a comeback year last year. Very good player. I love him. Ryan Palmer, $8,100. Plays well at this event every year too. Golfer number 5, $7,100. Mr. Adams, do you hear that?
71.
Do you hear that?
Is that Philly?
Chugga.
Oh,
Chugga.
Charlie.
Chugga.
Oh, there he is.
All aboard the Charlie Hoffman train.
Back on.
What an amazing thing. You thought we were going to let that go after season 2? You're damn right we weren't. Charlie Hoffman, he's back in.
Season 2. This is season 3?
This is season 3, baby. I did season 1 by myself. It was the absolute worst podcast known to man.
It's not even like you came in today's call on like saying it was season 3. Like you just kind of dropped that in there casually right there.
Oh, yeah. Season 3. Let's go, baby.
Let's
But
go.
anyways, we're back. Like I said, we're back. Charlie Hoffman, you guys know my very weird love for the man that looks like a thumb, but I do love him. Mm-hmm. I will continue to love him. And then my final golfer at 6,800, a rookie this year, has been playing very well. Davis Riley played great on the Korn Ferry Tour last year. Played very well so far in a lot of the events that he's played on the PGA. Really looking forward to seeing him again this week. Who's up next? Who's next?
Hey, did you see that video of Tony Finau speaking? He's in your lineup. Him at Pebble Beach. He was at Pebble Beach, and he with the 7th hole, which is 107 yards. He hit a 5-iron because it was so windy. He hit a 5-iron, put it within 15 feet. Incredible shot.
107 yards, and he hit a 5-iron.
Yeah.
Full swing too.
Nah, it was kind of a little chopped down because.
His swing is a 3/4 anyways too.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. That's true.
He said one time, I think he was like, if I full swing, I will hit it like 400 yards, but I will have no control over where it goes. And I'm like, oh, so you're going to be like Bryson. Okay.
Yeah.
Question, fellas.
Yes, sir.
I was about to join the $20 pitch and putt. Is that what we're doing?
I did the $8 one.
Yeah, I did the $8. Well, I also did the $20 one because I.
Oh my gosh, Brendan.
He's had a good winter. He's had a good winter financially.
I have a problem.
All right. Timmy, I'm going to go to the $8 one.
Go to the $8 one. Do it up. Have you not picked yet?
Oh, I got it.
Oh, okay.
I can't believe one guy's where he's at. I'm just picking him because I'm actually picking 2 of Brendan's guys.
Would you like to share? Would you like our friend, Mr. Timmy O'Reilly, to go first?
Timmy, take it.
I'll go. A couple people I am picking because they are good at the beginning of the season. Those 2 people are Harry Higgs, and he is a current person, meaning he is up to date with his social media. He's ready to go. People, I don't know, his name's out there right now. Harry Higgs.
Gotta love Big Rig.
I love Big Rig. He's a nice little price of $6,700. 1 top 10, 5 of 8 cuts. Not a great pick, but for the price, you got to pick him. The next one, Max Homa, won last year, beginning of the season at Riviera. I think he is geared up and ready to go for a big season right now. Max Homa, he is at 8,400 bones. The next one is the biggest long shot. This is pricey for something. This is not a lot of bang for my buck. But if you remember, I put $1 on this gentleman to win, forget which tournament, and out of nowhere he won and won me $80. But this golf course is long, and it is a bombs away kind of course, long straight, and there's not a lot of spots to go OB except off the cliff like Louis Susan. Cameron Champ, I'm going to pick. He's coming off he has 0 top 10s, and he has missed both cuts he has played in. So that's where I'm getting my long shot. Justin Rose did not have a great season last year. I'm always
probably his worst. Probably his worst.
This year, I don't know if you've seen it. He has 3 top 10s. He has made 9 of 9 cuts he has played.
Rushing it.
Starting off strong, $7,900. And the next 2, I have picked Patrick Reed because he won last year. Mm-hmm. And the next person I have picked, who is the best golfer in the world at the moment, $11,200, John Rahm. Just we all know his history at the Farmers.
Wow. Paid up.
At the Farmers and just at that course in general. Won the U.S. Open there last year. So
bingo.
Ooh. Also, Justin Rose, 2019 champion. So great picks. Fantastic picks. Good job. I don't think I'll be winning money over Timbo this week, but you never know. Michael?
He paid up to get Johnny. I didn't. I stuck at Sam Burns. I rode Sam Burns to start the new year. Yeah. I just think he was 7-7 cuts right now. Guys just had an unbelievable year last year.
Yep.
Mike, if he misses this cut, you may never forget.
It draws.
I never play.
You're going to heckle him. Oh, my God. If he goes to the U.S. Open, everyone's going to be cheering for him, and Mike's just going to be like, Sam Burns, you stink.
I'm on the Sam train. I'm back on. I'm back. I'm here. He was in my last year for a while, but hey, I'm a forgiving guy.
I love it.
2, Willie Z. Will Zalatoris. Guy's just
great pick.
Guy's just a twig, but he's 22 of 24 cuts.
Mm-hmm. I think Davis Riley is going to be this year's Will Zalatoris. I'm just putting that out there. Putting it out there. Going to come from absolutely nowhere and just start playing great after winning the Korn Ferry the year before.
Ooh.
Can I keep going?
Yes.
Like that.
Just kidding. Next up, we got P. Reed. Winner last year. Just like you guys said.
Good pick.
Next up, Billy Horschel.
Oh, Billy. Billy won me some money at the Tournament of Champions, so I've almost forgiven him.
He's played dynamite. I mean, ever since I can remember, which my memory's fading. But
had a great past year. He had a great year last year too.
Yeah,
fantastic year.
He won the match play, right? And then
mm-hmm. And he won a European tour. He won a big European tour event. I think it was the Dunhills, right? Did he win the Dunhill or did he win like a Rolex series? Anyways, he won
Dunhill. I think you're right, but I'm not positive.
Monster year last year, though.
Still weird shoes.
Brendan.
Yes.
Next up, Lonto Griffin.
Great pick. Coming off a top 3 finish. Great pick. What a pick.
He finished top 5 last year, I think.
Oh, what a pick. My absolute boy. He's going to be the great. He's going to, if we ever got Lonto Griffin on this podcast, he'd be like, why do these 3 middle-aged dudes love me so much? And you guys would be like, no, just one of us loves you. And I'd be like, Lonto Griffin, Virginia Commonwealth University, let's go. He'd just be like, dude, like my wife doesn't even like me this much. Calm down.
T7 last year. You said he finished top 3 last weekend?
Yeah, last week he finished top 3.
Ooh, yeah, gravy. And then next up, last but not least, came in second last year, coming in at a hot 67 hundo, Henrik Norlander from Sweden.
He came in second in the Farmers?
Yeah.
Are we sure?
Unless I'm looking up the wrong thing.
I think you're looking at like the 2018 one, my man.
2021, January 28th to 31st, Farmers Insurance Open 2021, Norlander. Second.
I must be wrong.
Schauffele was third.
Schauffele was third.
Tied in second.
Okay.
It wasn't Hovland and Palmer and Finau.
Yeah.
Good pick.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's my lineup. And I'm sticking to Sammy Burns.
Wow. Hey, guess who else finished T2 last year too?
Xander.
Ryan Palmer. Guess who else finished T2 last year?
Victor
Xander. Honestly, there's just some great names on here right now, and I'm very. Picking Lanto, like just almost ripped my heart out, but also made me very excited at the same time. Loved that pick.
I don't think I've ever picked him. I've chirped him harder than I've chirped anyone.
Probably. I mean, you do chirp Lanto a lot. He's not going to be fond of you when he comes on. I'm kidding.
Brendan, over, under, I'm trying to think. So how many tournaments will we talk or do daily fantasy on?
We will do daily fantasy for every single tournament that we can. It'll be like our nice little segment.
Holy jeez.
Like put a number to it. So how many would we do? 25?
I'd say 20 to 25. Yeah.
All right. So say we're doing 25 tournaments, 25 daily fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Over, under 18 and a half as to how many times you're going to put Charlie Hoffman in your lineup.
Way over.
way over.
Sometimes he's not going to be in the field, I guess.
Until he misses a
over
cut.
Under 90% of the time you put him in there.
I'm just like when I put him in last year, he did not miss a cut. And the worst part was I didn't put him in one time and he finished third. So he's staying. like he didn't miss a cut. Like I think he didn't miss a cut until he got chopped from the top 125 from like the top 70.
Yeah.
No, sorry, he got chopped. He got chopped from the top 30. So he didn't make the tour championship. I think like literally from June to the end of the year, he didn't miss a cut. Like it was something crazy like that. Like he had a very, very long no cut streak. And I didn't pick him in one tournament and he ended up finishing like third. And I was like, Jesus. Like,
all right,
come
Brendan.
on, Charlie. Come on, Chuck.
Over, under 0.5 wins on the tour this year.
For Charlie?
Yeah.
Pound the under.
It's all right.
He'll be top 5. He'll get a couple top 5s.
I agree.
He crushes the top 10s. He loves them.
Oh,
but
God,
wins? No. He hasn't won since like 2013, I think. It's been a bit for him.
So how's he keeping his tour card just because of his
he gets 125. He's in that. He's comfortably 125 every year.
Yeah. With his FedEx Cup points and all that jazz.
Yeah. He's comfortably in that top 125. I was gonna say I was surprised you didn't go like over under like 9.5 for Lanto in my picks. That would have been a tough one. Because like obviously he's not getting Masters, or maybe he will be Masters because I think he won 2 years. I think he's still in the 2 years, whatever he gets in. So yeah, so we'll see though. This will be some good ones.
All right. Does Bryson DeChambeau win a major this year?
I like the rapid fire. Can we keep going rapid fire?
No.
Keep going. I got them all.
We'll skip over bogeys for the boys this week because I'm the only one that's played.
We already did that.
What?
We already did, Bogey. We already talked about our golfing.
Simulators, right?
That's true.
We haven't been playing holes. No bogey.
Rapid fire golfer polls. Over under 0.5. He won't win. I don't think he'll win the Open. He can't. His game's not for St. Andrews. He hits the ball way too high.
I'm gonna write these predictions down. Keep going. So
the Country Club might be tough because the Country Club is very much gonna play like Winged Foot, where it's a little shorter, but very narrow fairways. And he crushed it at Winged Foot because his freaking 3-iron and his pitching wedge are the same length.
You don't have this long to think about it.
I'm gonna go no.
Under 0.5?
Under 0.5.
Yeah. 0.
Bryson, so Brendan, no. Mike, no.
Negative.
Tim?
Ask the Tiger.
Tim, no. All right, I'm gonna go his foe, Brooks Koepka.
Over under 0.5.
Over under 0.5.
Over.
Under.
I think he might win 1.5. I would take the over. I think he might win 2.
Here's a good one.
Mount Morikawa.
No, I was gonna say. Oh, do you want to go over under 0.5?
Yeah.
Under this year. I think 2 in 2 years though. He might keep that streak going.
Is it over or under?
He's over. Yeah, he's over. Ready? Over under 0.5. Rory McIlroy.
Under, but I think he'll win like 2 major tournaments, like major non-major tournaments, like another Players and a Memorial or something like that.
I got him not penciled, obviously, because you can't pencil in someone at St. Andrews, but I would say he could be a prohibitive favorite to win at St. Andrews.
Rory?
Mm-hmm.
Sweet. Tiger's going to win at St. Andrews.
Louis Oosthuizen's going to win at St. Andrews. He's going to break the streak. He's going to go back to where it all began.
That would be cool. That'd be cool. Love to see Louis there.
Mm-hmm.
How about Victor Hovland? Does he win on the PGA Tour this year?
Yes, he'll win. He'll win the wherever he always wins every year, Mayakoba or Puerto Rico or whatever.
Yeah,
he'll win that tournament.
Tony Finau, he's gonna win.
Cam Champ. Does he go 4 years in a row?
No.
Winning one tournament.
But here's the thing: I wouldn't have said it last year either, and then he just ended up like the 3M out of nowhere. Like he hadn't made a cut in 3 months.
Oh.
He's got to have a year. He might win 2.
Wow.
Jordan Spieth, 2 top 5s in the majors this year.
Pounding. Oh yeah. Over under 1.5. Yup. Over.
Yep. Okay. Mike.
2 top 5s.
2 top 5s in majors. Jordan Spieth.
I would go over. Part of me says he's not going to win one. I don't know.
He's going to do top 5 at the Masters and probably at.
Here's a good one.
Andrews.
When you're ready. Go ahead, Mike. You go first and then I'll do one.
No, I mean, I got Morikawa and Brooks winning over 0.5, so there's only 2 more.
Well, top 5, not wins. So he can finish in like second.
We were doing wins earlier though, but yeah.
Yeah, so top 5s for Jordan.
Oh, top 5s. I'll go over 1.5.
This is a good one.
Talk to me.
Xander Schauffele. Does he pull the Ricky Fowler and go top 5 in every major, but doesn't win one?
No. He's gonna miss 2 cuts.
How dare you? How dare you, sir? How dare you? I'm so mad at that answer right now. Oh,
who's your prediction for each major? We'll go the Masters, we'll go through, then we'll go next, and then we'll go next.
Yeah, I just gotta look to see where I'm such a dum-dum and I kind of forgot where the PGA is this year. Southern Hills. Oh, I don't think has Southern Hills ever had the PGA Championship? I don't know. I can't even get Southern Hills Golf Club right now because they think it's in Georgia somewhere. Oh, Southern Hills CC.
Masters is first?
Yep.
Tiger. Love it.
No, dude, he's not even gonna play.
He could.
He's not even gonna play in it this year.
That's a tough course to walk. Holy hell. They say it's a real dude.
This is too hard to do right now. My brain hurts.
All right. Do you want to
save it for next week?
Next week.
I will say Southern Hills did have the PGA Championship in 2007, won by LT Gray.
Oh, who was second and third and fourth?
Tiger's won 3 out of these 4 major venues. What do you think about it? That's incredible.
Second, Woody Austin. That's a name. That's a name you don't hear very often.
I don't think I've ever heard it.
I have. I know who he is. He he had a really bad choke at one of the tournaments. I forget which one though.
Like a
third place.
Stroke, like
third place. Ernie Els, Big Easy. Tied for 4, John Senden, who I do know, and Aaron Oberhoser, who I do not know, but apparently he's a golf commentator on the Golf Channel, so I probably should know him. Oh man,
you probably know him.
I probably know him if I heard the voice. That's true. I'll give you that.
Timmy, you got a golfer poll?
Yeah. This will actually help me.
Golf. Yeah. So we did the rapid fire golfer polls, which weren't really golfer polls, but they were rapid fires.
I like little things like that.
I did too.
All right. So boys, I need a little help right here. And this one's for you. And please, if anyone can hear this and wants to send it their thing, as far as golf trips, you live in New England, you're used to the cold weather. You can't really enjoy a round of golf like you can in 70-degree weather. You can still get out there and grind for sure. But if you are planning a golf trip with your buddies to somewhere warm, like where Brendan's staying right now, or even further south, when would you rather plan that trip? Would you rather do it sometime in September, like September, October, when you're coming off a season, you're still a little loose, you got a little thing, you want to continue a good season? Would you like to do it in February? And there's 3 options. So there's the right after the season, September, October. There's in the middle of the winter, like a January, February. You're like, you want to escape, you want to completely get out of the cold, you want to do that. Or do you want to do it in like March, April, when you're rearing up to get going on the season and you're getting ready for the Masters? So it's a little bit warmer up here, but you still want to just get the golf season off right, and somewhere warm. So there's 3 seasons you can do it: right after the summer, when it's a little fall-y, a little like that, and you're still going somewhere warm. You can do right in the middle of winter, January, February, or you can do March, April. What are you guys doing? Brendan's tough because he's down there right now.
I know, right? So here's the thing with mine, and Mike, I'll go first. So I would probably do the January, February one because I'm kind of in that area right now. For September, I want to go to places like more that are like New Englandy at that point. So I want to do like Northern Michigan has a couple tracks I really want to do. I want to do Cabot Links and Cabot Cliffs up in Nova Scotia. I want to do a golf. I would want to do like Bandon Dunes and stuff like that out in Oregon, the Kohler, Wisconsin area. So that would be Erin Hills, Whistling Straits. Like I would do that in September. I wouldn't. You can't do it in January. You can't really even do it in March. So I would do that at that point. I think that'd be great. March and April, I feel like we're almost there up in Massachusetts and Rhode Island anyways. Like we're almost there. Like we'll have a couple weeks where we can't really play that much, but by April, we're usually good to go. So January and February, get out of the cold.
Yeah.
Get out of the cold, come south. Even right now, where I am in South Carolina, it's cold. So like I even more south, go to Florida, go to the Bahamas, go play in Puerto Rico or the Dominican, like go somewhere great.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I mean, I don't think I have much to add. You answered every part of the question possible. I mean, the only thing that I'll add is, unfortunately, not unfortunately, because I love it, coaching basketball, in December, January, and early February restricts a lot of that traveling capability, but I don't know what that's going to look like once the baby's in the fold. So maybe I think I'm leaning with you, Brendan, man. I'm January, February. Like if I could, like perfect world situation, like that would be when I would want to take like a long weekend and go play 150 holes. Like that would be sweet.
36
But
a day.
selfishly right now, once basketball season's over, Tim, and before that baby pops out, that's where I'm trying to find that sweet spot. So got a couple of
Bren's gonna be 8 months pregnant and you're gonna be on a golf trip. That would be unreal.
Got a couple of baby showers.
Yeah, bridal shower already happened, my man.
Like baby shower, do you have to go to those?
Got Brendan. Brendan, don't maybe.
Just kidding, maybe.
There's one in New York, and then there's one here. So
You have to go to both.
do I have to go to both? Time will tell. Time will tell. I'll be in
I already
touch.
answered incorrectly. I'm staying out of this. Oh man.
Keep in touch, they say. Kids say. The O'Reillys and the Adams say, keep in touch.
Keep in touch.
All
All right, so maybe January and February is kind of out. We're doing them right now. Do you want it the inaugural golf trip? We try to make it sometime in I don't know, March or April. When's the due date there?
We can always make it like March of this year, and then if we wanted to, make it January or February of next year, like we can bump it up. Nothing wrong with that.
Do the opposite. Do like a November first one, and then do the next year like February.
Yeah.
Getting away with murder, guys.
Squeezing them in. We're just squeezing them in.
Brendan.
Getting away with it. I don't care. I'm single, so I don't gotta worry about the significant other yet.
Yeah, I think that's our goal, Tim. Let's chat chat offline.
Yeah.
Brendan.
Oh, imagine the
You got a
oh my
Scottsdale
God.
trip.
We may
Brendan, that's like Brendan and Mike, and that's open to like friends of friends too. It's
right.
You know what I mean? It's like if we get 25 people to go, awesome. That'd be cool.
I ain't paying for you, but if you can pay yourself.
Right, exactly.
If we ever made any money off of this podcast, I would put all of that money into the Duff Daddy's Cup, and whoever won.
Oh, that'd be cool.
We might do it anyways. Hey, as Mike says, I buy a lot of random stuff, so who knows?
Duff Daddy's Cup.
Duff Daddy's Cup.
That would be cool. Get a trophy.
The Duffin' Up Cup. That'd be even better. Oh my God, the amount. Oh.
You have to have a handicap. Handicap.
Tim, we would have some type of like Ryder Cup format, like team setting. That's 100%.
Yeah, you'd have to have a handicap, 100%.
So yeah, man, you got places going through my mind. It's got to be affordable. I got airfare travel. COVID bachelor party canceled back in the day, so I got airfare paid for.
There's always Myrtle Beach is always cheap.
Myrtle Beach is cheap. Myrtle Beach will get a lot of people in trouble, but Myrtle Beach is cheap.
Yeah, and you could drive there.
You can't. I can drive there. I'm 3 hours away.
You could drive there. Flights aren't expensive.
No, they're not. But they also are almost exclusively Spirit Airlines, which is just hold on for your life. We may not.
Some shit sticks in my clubs. I'm not trusting.
Oh yeah.
Shit sticks. Oh shit. I'm going.
Boys.
Yeah. We getting out of here?
My tummy's rumbling.
It's okay. Well, as always, thank you guys very much. Just one quick announcement. You can now find us on Anchor. So we have switched providers. We are an Anchor.fm podcast now. Anchor, you owe me $5 for saying, no, I'm kidding. But you can find us on Anchor. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all of these other random podcast things that probably no one listens to on there, but that's okay. But yes, find us anywhere you want to listen to your podcast. Watch our YouTube channel. I am hoping that we can do a little bit more with that this year, especially when the sun gets better. And maybe I'll buy more random stuff that we can use and video ourselves on the course. Who knows? We'll get there when we get there. When the bonus comes in, it might. No, I'm kidding. But as always, guys, pleasure, absolute pleasure. Let it fly. And for this season, we're going back to the original one, Mike. You know what it is. Duff it up.
Up, baby.
Duff it up.
Duff it up.
Timmy, you could say play better. It's okay.
Play better.
And duff it up.
Duff it up.